Hi, I'm Andy Mack from M-Audio. I'm here at Get in the Mix, and I'm going to take you through the new Triggerfinger Pro, and we're going to cover a lot of the basics of the product and show you how fast this is for a production workflow, especially if you guys are doing electronic production. And we'll go through some of the amazing content that comes with the product, which has been delivered by a lot of record labels around the world. So this really will give you a production-ready product if you're doing electronic, dance, deep house, you know, whatever. We've teamed up with a lot of the guys from Toolroom Records to produce this. So basically, let's have a quick overview of the product. So it's a hardware controller with a 16-step sequencer, which is generated from the hardware. So the software running inside the computer is really handling all the sample-based information. So we have 16 pads across 4 banks, and then we have 12 controllers again across 4 banks, which we can assign to be doing all of our control surface with any VIs, plugins that we're using in our environment. And then we have transport control. We have a great screen here that we can visually see everything that's going on as we're, making our production. And then we have our typical facilities: solo, mute, roll, fixed velocities, all the typical things that you expect from a controller. It's USB powered, comes with a MIDI out as well, so you can assign this to be driving any external MIDI device as well. So, but between the two, a lot of the heart of the production is running from the software, which comes in 3 different parts. So what we have Air Drums, which is really the sample playback device that interacts with the trigger finger, which houses all the expansions, and you can import all your own samples and chop up all your own samples and layer drums like you would expect. But when we start going into the expansions, we've got 10 from Prime Loops, where we've got deep house, dubstep, electronic, dance, minimal, all the cutting edge genres. And then inside each pack, you've got drum kits, drum loops, bass loops. And then we go to the Toolroom packs, where we've got Rene Amesz, Mark Knight, Di Mariraz, Tocadisco. So we've got some of the biggest names in the industry, and you can go into their kits, and then you see all these drum kits by each artist, all the kick snares, and then we can actually physically go into all the individual one-shots of each artist. So we can go to Marco or Rene, Mark Knight, see all the kicks, snares, all the claps. This is for each pack. So you can customize all your own expansions as well, build up all your own libraries, and you'd never need to worry about sounds again. It's an immense library that comes with it. And then putting Air Drums aside, we then have Arsenal, which is a file management system that handles all of your VI content inside your environment. So if you're a Logic user or a Pro Tools user, Studio One, whatever, you can load up Arsenal on every single track, have as many instances running as you want, and then it will scan all of your plugins. So as you can see here, I've got Air Drums, I've got Gladiator, I've got Hybrid. So if I go to Gladiator, I can now access all my Gladiator patches. If I go to Hybrid, I can see all my Hybrid patches, and then on the right hand side I can go through all the sounds. But I might want to abbreviate these with my tags and say, okay, I just want to look at the basses, and I've now got 376 basses. I now go over to here, and then I can see the type of bass sounds that I have. So it's abbreviated all these, so I could go to distorted basses or dirty basses, dry basses, and all of a sudden it shortlists all these sounds, and I can see them here. If I want to come out of basses and go to Hybrid and just see the expansion pack presets, because every artist has built 64 presets for Hybrid as well. So if we go to Mark Knight, I've now got his 60 sounds or 66 sounds inside Hybrid. I want to go to his dirty basses, and then I have access to all his bass sounds directly from here. So I can look at those and just load them up inside Hybrid. So it's a very, very fast workflow when you want to access sounds. And the same, I might go to Jupiter, come out of here, and I can then go through all the typical sounds that I might have running in Gladiator 3300 or back to Air Drums. So it's really, really fast if you've got a lot of VIs that you use to access whatever type of sounds that you want. So let's go back to Air Drums, and let me walk you through how fast it is to actually start programming tracks with the Triggerfinger Pro. So what I'm going to do, I load up a new sequence, select the amount of bars that I want. So I'm just going to do a 1-bar loop here. Okay, so we have nothing running here. I've got Bank A, I've got Rene Amesz kit here, I've got a Tocadisco, and then I've got some one-shot stuff, and now I've got some loops playing. There's thousands and thousands of loops, and they all are just production-ready quality. And then on Bank D, I'm transmitting MIDI out of Bank D to Trigger Hybrid straight from the controller. So I can now go into my control mode, play Hybrid, go into Control Bank D where I've set up my controllers, and now I've got full control over Hybrid. So let's lay down the track. So I'm going to start off with some percussion, put it into sequence mode. My tempo's 120, put a little bit of swing onto it, and then we can start laying down the track. Now I'm going to lay the hi-hats down. And I'm moving the velocities around depending on how I want the feel of the hat. So I can bring the hi-hat really up loud, bring it down. Go to Bank A, pick some more percussion, and I can do this in real time. Go to the shaker, take a shaker, bring the velocity up. And now we can swing it. Go back to percussion. And now we can drop some loops in as well. So if I want to take some loops, we can drop that loop into the track. Bring my velocity down. Solo the loop. Come out of that, do more of a percussion loop. Mute the loops, go back to Bank C. And now we're going to put our bass line down. So I'm now driving Hybrid, so I can come over here, take down air drums, go to Hybrid. So we've now got Hybrid on the screen here. And I've got full control over everything now. And now we can go into the real-time controls. Now we'll go back to Bank C. speed as well. Go back to my drums. And I might want to start playing with my drums a bit more. Let's take out the 2 claps. Go back to another bank of sounds. Bank B, and put small claps in. Then we can group solo as well, so we can go group solo, hold down bank. So you can see how fast the workflow is with Triggerfinger Pro. You know, we can also go to a new sequence. I can set up a new sequence, just go load, and I can go to 1 bar, so select 1 bar, go to bank A, and I've got, so we can put a beat down, so we'll go tempo 22, pick this, do our velocity, drop that down. Now we can record that if we want. Now we can swing it. Really quick, that's like 30 seconds. But I can now go to my control, and now I can go to bank A, which I'm on. And now I can go to one of the other kits that I've got here. So I can go to, it's another drum kit from René Hermes. And then we can just change this. Add another kick. Go back to control. Go sequence. Shaker. Go to our kick drum. So workflow, super fast. You know, you've got full control over everything you're doing. You can layer the drums with the step sequencer, or you can use the pads, but the workflow is so fast, and the amount of sounds that you have available with the product, you know, it comes with about 8 gig of sounds, but they really are the most professional sounds that you will ever hear in a device on the market. They really are production ready. They're professionally made artist packs from some of the greatest guys in the DJ field at the moment. And that comes all inside the product. You have Arsenal, you have air drums, you have 16 expansion packs, and then you have Hybrid 3, which gives you another kind of 2,500 presets geared up to all the cutting edge dance sounds on the market. And what's great as well is that if we go to Hybrid, and you want to just use Hybrid and run Arsenal on every channel of your DAW, we can pull up Arsenal, and then we can say come out of air drums, go to Hybrid, go to the bass sounds, and then we can pull up whatever bass sound that we want to use, and then I go to bank A, and then I've got Arsenal here, so I've got Hybrid playing on the track. I select the patch of what I want to play, so I go to bank here, go to my control bank, and then what you will see is Hybrid on the screen. So I've now got everything to do with that plugin, and this could be from any third-party company. So you might be using Gladiator or Jupiter 8, whatever you want to be using, and we can then scroll through all the presets on that plugin, load them up here, and this is all coming from Hybrid. Or I can set up two sounds as well to preload. So I've got one sound on A, and then I might want to quickly load this one or fly back to this one. So it's got some real fast parameters when you're using live, and everything's mappable as well. So if I don't want to use the pre-mapped features that we've already done for you, you can pull in any third-party plugin map into Arsenal, and everything will be pre-mapped for you. So the device has so many uses in the studio environment, from production to control surface, and you get all that for $299. So hope this has been helpful, and thank you very much. Bye bye.